How you guys doing today? Today's video, I wanted to go over 5 of my favorite defensive counter killers with relics, and which ones are the best for stopping some very, average counters that you, or, I guess counters that you do see in GAC, and how to stop them the best. And these are just like one relic that you can add to your team to stop very, average and most commonly used counters for these GAC teams in your GAC. So I have 5 of them. I could do like a 10 or 15 of them, but these ones I feel like are some of the most impactful for your GAC, and I thought this would be a good video to do while we're getting ready for our next GAC, because we're out of 3v3s, we're going to go back into 5v5, so I want to make this video to go live before all this happens. And I'm going to do a 5 for defense, I'm going to do 5 for offense later, and ones to help you get more banners, ones are a little bit more clean of a battle, stuff like that. But for this one, we're going to be more on to the topic of which ones will probably kill their counters, hopefully, but most importantly, drop them some banners. And a lot of these things, I said it before, you want to really just stop banner gain, and you want to have a lot of different things here that can negate their banners, so you have a better chance of your offensively, so you don't have to make as many, or you don't have to worry rather about making as many mistakes, right? So let's start us off. These are just really old teams I've had from over the past few months. Honestly, in all these ones, just think of them as the typical teams that you would place, right? So let's say in this instance, you're going to be placing this team, which I do think is probably one of the best Sith Empire teams you can place on defense, right? So most people probably already have a Darth Revan, a Bastard Sean Fallen, and a Darth Malak, all with relics. So after that, though, which ones will be the best relics afterwards? And one of those I think is very good and pretty awesome is Sith Marauder. I think Sith Marauder is a very scary relic, and mine's pretty bad. But think of this guy with relics. Relic 2 to 3 does not have to be very high. His unique gets so much extra stacking offense for each debuff on all characters, both on his team and on the enemy team. You're going to get so much extra damage just right off the bat, because on top of that, you get that, but the reason why it's so crazy is because of the leadership with the extra ferocity stacks. At the start of each Empire or Sith Empire's allies' turn, they gain 5 stacks of ferocity for 2 turns. He's going to have so much ferocity, it's going to be crazy. And with this team, how it functions, they deal a lot of debuffs on the enemies, so the offense there will go straight through the roof on your Sith Marauder. So let's think this guy's like Relic 2 or 3. He can just potentially just one-shot, anybody honestly in this game. maybe not a GL though, maybe not Kylo or a Rey, but it can one-shot a lot of stuff in the game. Usually when I'm fighting a team like this, I usually in the past have used my own Padme team and have it, modest low and all that sort of stuff and all the right turn order and all that right modding, right? And this is the team that I'm always the most afraid of, because Marauder can just yoink one of my, Jedi, JKA, an Anakin, or Kenobi. He can do that. He's a very scary character, and I do think this guy is one that I would relic up if I had a pretty good Sith Empire team. I want to make sure that this guy is reliced with the proper mods, because he can do some big boy damage. So I think on this list we're going to start off with Marauder, because he is very scary. So the next up on this list I would go for is, like I said, these are kind of all over the place, but a very average droid team. You can toss either in a Droidica, you can go for a Newt, you can go for a BB-8 even if you wanted to. We'll just stick with Droidica for this instance. So for this team here, most of you guys out here, I want to kind of make this for, these people in Div 2, 3, and of course Div 1. Maybe Div 3 is a bit too overkill here, but I think Div 2 and 1 is probably the best way for me to explain these and the uses here for these players in this video. So this one, for what I'm going to go here with the droids and the separatists with Grievous, of course you want to have a Grievous with Gear 13, and I would say of course B1 as well, because you get a little bit more damage. But this one, Gear 13, will really make it a hard time for the Jedi to handle them, and this guy's name is B2. A Relic up B2 has so much durability, so much protection, so much extra just defense built in armor. You can see here his mastery, his armor. It is such a hard one to kill. You can just get stuck behind this guy time and time again, because usually if you're thinking about it in a Jedi counter with JKR, Yoda, and Jolie, all these different guys, right, you want to kill B2 first, because if you don't and you hit his friends, his allies, he's going to get so much extra turns off with his uniques here, and you don't want that. You want to keep your buffs. You do not want him to use his mowdown special, right? So you want to make sure that you kill him usually first, right? But once you have this guy gear 13, making that and doing that task now becomes 10 times more harder to even get him down at all in any way. So he's going to probably remain most of the battle, and if you can't kill him fast enough and you don't have the best, you know, relics on your own Jedi or the best modding and all that sort of stuff on your own Jedi, you will not be able to clear that team. You know, you're going to be stuck behind this guy. Grievous will do his own thing, B2, or I mean rather B1 with AoEs, and the TM gain on their team will be going through the roof while you are still stuck behind this character. This is one of the best relics for the droids, and I would highly recommend this. I would love to get this guy myself, but I'm always behind on things, man. I really am. But this guy is so good at relics. He really is. He's amazing with relics. Highly recommend him. So that's already 2. We got a few more to talk about here. So let's see here. Next one here on the list. I want to go after some Nightsisters. So, I mean, you can already see here, again, these are just all over the place. So we'll just clear this team and we'll go for just a full Nightsister team. I'm going to talk about Asajj lead. I mean, you could do either one here. Either Asajj or Talzin. It doesn't matter. But let's talk about this team here. An Asajj with Daka, Talzin, Spirit, and Zombie. These are, for me, and whenever I do happen to ever fight a Asajj team that is, you know, very well modded with relics, I got to bring in some of my own better teams and characters to handle them, because they can get out of hand very quickly. So, I mean, I guess for example, I now transferred from using a First Order with Wat team to using a Bounty Hunter team with some relics, and I can handle this, you know, for the most part pretty easily. But one character here that in that counter and in any other counter you want to use and stop other teams with on defense with the Nightsisters, the one relic I would say is a very scary relic outside of a Daka or a Spirit perhaps. I think one of the scariest relics is Talzin, because she can do some big boy damage. She does get some more damage with her relics on her mastery, and of course just of her getting more relic levels added on. But if you can land her Dark Magic Plague, which the AI does use first, by the way, if you can get this going first, that is a very scary thing. Another thing to mention here is that with relics, you get some more critical chance. So she doesn't already have the highest critical chance in the game, but if you mod her properly with relics, she can crit more than likely all the time with her AoE. And if she does crit, she can do some big freaking damage, like I would say 50+K crits. And on top of that, you have the Plague, so you can almost just one-shot somebody out of the gate without them even having any room to really breathe. You know, it's a very scary thing, and she just keeps applying the pressure over and over again. And if you have her with high relics, it plays a pretty big part with her unique, because if you do lower somebody below that half health mark, she gains. Yeah, right here at the very end. Whenever any unit falls below half health, both her allies and her enemies, she gains 35% more turn meter. And if she does land any of those crits, she pretty much just grants herself a whole nother turn with using the Spirit Blade. And it just the whole thing there, the whole how that train chugs is very scary. And I've lost a couple because of the Talzin being relicked. And you can do some things to take precautions, but even then, it still is kind of scary. So I would say Talzin's a very good relic here with her AoE and the damage she gets. And not to mention, she does get some critical avoidance and some accuracy, but the damage is really the main part here, and I would probably focus most on. And of course, the speed with relics as well. So Talzin's pretty scary, I gotta be honest with you guys. She is a very scary girl. So that's 3 of them. We got a couple more to talk about. Keeping on that little Newt team and some of the Separatists here, let's just talk about the Newt team. So there is so many different variations with the Newt team in this game. There really is. I can go talking about Newt for hours with the different teams you can build with him, but we're going to just talk about some of the more casual ones, I guess you could say. More the ones that you might see the most commonly. So let's go to the Separatists, and let's just bring them up right here. So I'm going to bring in Droids, I'm going to bring in Dooku, I'm going to bring in, heck, Wat too. I mean, there's so many different teams here you can bring in. I guess Jango. Where's Jango anyways? There you go, Jango. So I guess we probably see a lot of these different teams here. You could probably say, you know, toss out Wat, toss in Nest, stuff like this. There's so many different variations. But in this team here, I think that one of the best relics you can put on somebody here, in the team like this, I don't think it's Newt, because Newt, all you get with relics is more protection, survivability, a little bit more speed. But the one I think, I mean, kind of same thing with Dooku as well, but the one I think that's the most scary here is a Droids. I think Droids here, it can do some very big damage. Not too long ago, actually, you could probably see Bulldog's video of using Droids with Padme to kill Kylo teams, and that's pretty awesome to see, right? So not only going to counter a Kylo on offense, but if you relic this guy now, you're going to have him very strong on defense as well. So there's a bunch of different, people arguing, oh, you want a fast one, oh, you want a slow one. In this one, I would say, probably get a faster one because you don't want to have him get dispelled later on. You want to make sure that you can get that up earlier so that he gets more assists with his unique. However, in that offensive counter versus the Kylos, you want to have him very slow as you can possibly get, so he gets more charges of stacks of charge. I said it backwards. But Droids here with Relics, let's see his mastery. He gets more damage, accuracy, and defense penetration. All the stuff you want for an attacker like Droids. If you don't know what charge actually does, you get 5% more offense for each stack, and you get that stack whenever an enemy goes. And that's pretty nice. You get a lot more damage getting there for your Droids. So this is why I have him on this list, right? So let's say in this Newt team, right? You have Newt doing his extortion. You have, maybe you want to toss in a tank here for maybe a Jango Fett or something else. I don't know. But you want to have Droids here to, I would say, nearly always get an easy kill on somebody and apply that pressure, because now in this team with Droids, you're going to actually have a lot of different pressure on yourself. You're going to have an extortion with Newt, which is one of the scariest things in the game, in my opinion. You're going to have a Jango Fett where you can't hit him at all, and he can do some big damage to you. You can double tap, and you have a Dooku you have to worry about with him stealthing everybody and getting more turn meter, and that's all very, very scary stuff. But now you add the element of Droids here. And what Droids adds here is if you don't touch him, and let's say you go for a Dooku, or you want to go for Newt early on in the start of the battle, well, if you don't deal with Droids, he's going to get so much extra stacks of charge that if he ever does get his big boy hit off, he will more than likely one-shot you no matter who you are in this game. You've seen Kylo getting one-shot by this guy. This guy will one-shot you no matter what. It is so scary, and the best thing about it is you can't evade it. So if you wanted to use Jedi versus or a JTR team, you get evasion, or not evasion, you get foresight rather, GMY is about meditation, JTR with your passive, BB-8-2, R2, everything there. This will one-shot them no matter what. So you have to now apply so much extra control on this team while they're applying so much pressure to you, and this guy will more than likely one-shot you if you do not get to him fast enough, which is a hard thing to do in this team with so much extra stuff you have to worry about. And I think this guy is amazing. And not only that, in this new team, well, you can use him back in the Grievous team as well, and he can apply even more pressure as he is there with the really annoying B2, which is awesome. So I think Droids is awesome with Relics. So that's him. And the last one I go about here today is, again, there's a lot of Separatists here, man. There's so many Separatists here. I think out of this list of 5, we have 3 of them that are Separatists. So this last one, you already see Droids here, but we're going to just do a full-on Geonosian team. So in this team, let's just say it's a full-on, normal, casual Geo team. Which one here is the scariest when it comes to defending and having to counter this team on defense? Well, it's not GBA, it's not Poggle, it's not Soldier, it's not Sunfac, it is Geonosian Spy. This guy with Relics is a scary, scary dude, especially in this team. You get this guy, Relic 5, Relic 4 even. Man, Traya Scion just now becomes a lot more scary. If you don't have a very, very well modded Scion with Relics, you will not be able to beat this team if the Spy is Relic. And there's reasons why people have a really, really... I mean, just everywhere, really. People have a Relic Spy, and there's reasons, too, because it not only gets the job done in the TBs with the missions with Watt and getting the Acolyte done, but he is so scary on defense in GAC if you have him modded properly. The best thing about this guy is his Relic. So his Relic gives out more critical chance, more critical damage, and damage. The biggest thing there is critical chance. You get that with the Mastery, but also you get it just with him Relic levels and upgrading his Relic levels. So you can't really see mine. Mine's not too high, but it's pretty decent for what it is with non-relics. So he has 73%, and I don't even think I am running a critical chance triangle out. I'm like, what is this? What is the shape? A triangle. He doesn't even have a critical chance triangle, and that's pretty dang good. Imagine he had these type of high critical chance mods, but with like a Relic 4 or 5. 6 or 7 would be amazing, but Relic 4 or 5 I think is a little bit more... well, like what you would probably see in GAC, right? So the reason why he's on this list is to stop a very, very common counter, which is Traya Scion, or, I guess anything else really, because you don't do big damage regardless. But you want to have him with Relics because you want to stop that annoying counter that everybody loves to use, which is Traya Scion. And I've been telling people that you should get your Scion up because of spies. But if you have a properly modded spy, even though they might have a pretty decent, Relic 2 or 3 Scion, you can still lose if you have a pretty well modded spy. So in this case, you want to have as much critical chance as possible, because if you do not know this, the Traya leadership gives out, I think, 40% critical avoidance, plus what a typical Scion would be modded for would be a critical avoidance arrow. So 35% with the arrow, 40% with the lead. That's 75% chance to avoid crits. But with relics, you're going to have so much extra critical chance from the levels and the mastery and your mods that you can easily out crit that critical avoidance. And it's been happening time and time again, people dying with gear 12, even low gear 13s. The limit, I think, for Scion and where he's a little bit more safe is once you hit the relic 5, 6, and 7 level, which not many people have, right? So this is a great relic to apply to your Geos if you want to stomp out those Traya and Scions, because you can have, let's say, 120% critical chance with a CD triangle. Max out your offense. He doesn't need a whole lot of speed anyways. This guy will one-shot somebody, and it is going to be glorious. I love this guy a lot. And another one I wish I had gotten, but I have not yet. I have been just very, very busy with my Kylo farms, so I haven't got around to it. But Geospy is such a scary dude on the defensive, regarding, I guess, Traya and Scion in general. But every other use, he's just very scary, right? So that's him, and that will probably wrap up the list for today. My top 5 very, very sneaky relics for GAC, and which ones I hate fighting a lot. I really do hate fighting these guys in GAC. So that's my top 5. If you guys have any difference in opinion here, you guys have different relics that you hate fighting that are really annoying for you, you guys let me know down below. I do want to do a top 5 offensive ones for the flip-flop of this video, so I'll probably do that in a couple days from now. But that's probably going to do it today. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like, share it around, and sub to the channel if you guys are new here. I know there's a whole lot of drama in this community right now, but I'm trying to have some fun with these videos. So that's today's video. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. Go check out the Discord, go check out the Patreon, all that sort of stuff. Go check it out. All links down below in the description. And with that being said, guys, I will see you all later. Peace out.